racing at Greenville Pickens Speedway with some upcoming NASCAR stars. And the winner joins us in studio. As always, Spence is here to break down Martinsville as only he can. We're ready to go. This is NASCAR Race Hub. Everyone wants to know where the next Jeff Gordon is coming from. More than likely, he or she is coming from the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East, a grassroots division that is known as a feeder series. This past weekend, the series opened at one of the sport's most celebrated short tracks, the Greenville Pickens Speedway in South Carolina, a track that opened in 1940.
It's just a great racetrack that's really, really unique and doesn't compare to anywhere else.
Especially being the first televised NASCAR race with here is pretty cool. Anytime you go into the racetrack and see Ralph Earnhardt on the wall and
seeing all the names on the wall and everything of all the champions.
You have everyone here. You have the big Cup teams with Joe Gibbs Racing and Michael Waltrip Racing.
Sometimes it gets a little frustrating because the Cup development teams show up and they're really fast right out of the trailer, and we got to work a little harder to catch them and try to be there at the end.
This could be a very good series. They can't let spending get out of control. I mean, which is good. There's only 4 races here that we're allowed to pit. I mean, this is bringing back old school racing. As long as the kids respect that and know that when we put them back in the truck, you know, we can't go home and put a body on them. You know, they can't drive like Carl Edwards and Keselowski and wreck the guys.
The K&N races are a lot of fun for the fans because they can come down on the tracks and always get our autographs or behind the grandstands. It's different with each track, but you know, it's short track racing and it doesn't get any better than that. So it's a lot of fun to watch.
To be at NASCAR's roots right here, it's really cool for myself, and just to get out here and be competitive with all these guys, it's just, I mean, you can't thank all the competitors enough, and Greenville Pickens Speedway is just an awesome place to be.
And guess what? The winner of the season opener, Brett Moffitt, is with us. And, you know, Brett, that was a great look at what the K&N Pro Series East is like, racing on great tracks. Not only did you win, you led from the pole, won from the pole, and led every single lap.
We did. That was, you know, absolutely outstanding. We couldn't have started the season better off, and to be able to do that on our first race together is just amazing. Michael Waltrip Racing obviously proved themselves in the past 2 years with Ryan Truex, and I'm glad to be able to step in there and do it myself.
Now, you just moved to this area from Iowa, 18 years old, right?
Yep.
Do you have a career path in your mind of how you want it to go? You said you're with Michael Waltrip Racing, or do you take it one race at a time?
You know, it really is one race at a time with this sport. You know, you're only as great as your past season and your past few races. So, you know, people look at that and, you know, you just got to string together that run of top 5s and hopefully, you know, get me my first championship this year.
You know, we saw Trevor Bayne. He won the Daytona 500 a day after he turned 20. Joey Logano, and then the guys that you're racing with this past weekend, Corey LaJoie, Brandon McReynolds. Does it make it real for young guys like yourself when you see Trevor Bayne come out of that series and then win the biggest show there is in stock car racing?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it's great to see that, but at the same time, you got to think and realize that that's one person that made it through this series to that level. So, you know, you got to keep that humble head on your shoulders and just know that anything could happen in this sport. You know, it's not just because I'm winning races now in the series doesn't mean it's a given that, you know, I'll be in Trevor Bayne's position in a few years. You know, I'd like to hope and pray that it does, but you never know how things are going to work out. So I'm just doing the best I can and trying to make the most out of it.
Brett, do you worry about maybe moving up too fast? There's such an emphasis on youth in the Cup Series right now. You know, let's say Michael Waltrip calls or Joe Gibbs, whomever, and says, hey, we want you to drive a Cup car next year. What would you do? I mean, how do you answer that question?
I would ask for a lot of testing time. You know, it's the more seat time, the better, and the more comfortable you'll be. Obviously, you know, you'd like to be able to take a few years here and then a few years in Nationwide and then have your shot at Cup. But, you know, it's just, it's the way things work in this sport are demanding and right now. So it's, you got to be in the moment and you got to be ready for whatever comes your way. And, you know, if that was to come my way, then I'd need to be able to be ready to be in that position, you know, physically, mentally, and obviously I'd have to be there on the driving side as well.
Well, it was a great start to the season. Congratulations. By the way, I read your bio. Your favorite actor is Will Ferrell.
He's funny, man.
From Wedding Crashers? The Meatloaf, Ma, where is it?
I actually saw Talladega Nights before Wedding Crashers.
Okay,
so
all right.
Even though Wedding Crashers was an older movie, you know, he made Talladega Nights very fun to watch. So.
All right. Second place is the first loser, right? And
that's, you know, I was trying to go by that philosophy this weekend, and you know, luckily it paid off.
Well, great job. Glad you're here, and best of luck in the future.
Thank you. You know, I look forward to continuing this on, and hopefully I'll be back on your show soon.
Absolutely. Thanks to Johnny Sauter, Brent Moffitt, and Matt Kenson for joining us today in the Hub. And thank you for watching. Have an awesome night, everybody.